Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. I am indeed Wendy Y. Bailey, and I appreciate you tuning in today for this particular episode. I'm going to talk about 5 types of currency you need to have and you need to focus on to scale your 6 figure coaching business. Yeah, these are simple currencies, but they're really powerful because of what they can do for you in your business when you focus on these strategies. Let me begin again by reminding you that I'm broadcasting live on LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, my Profitable Coaching Conversations YouTube channel. I'm also broadcasting on Facebook, my profile. Hey, Victoria, my profile, my page, and in 2 Facebook groups. And I love this particular topic for live streaming. I'm here every weekday, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. At least that's what it's going to be this week. Usually I do a live stream on a topic Monday through Thursday. And then on Friday, I started last week doing what I call a weekly roundup. So I kind of give you an overview of what I've talked about in the way of topics throughout the week. Next week is my birthday week. On the 23rd, I will celebrate the big 6-0. I'm really, really, really excited about that. And so I will actually be out of pocket, but there will still be an episode live streamed Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern on all of those platforms. So when I first started thinking about this whole idea of currency, again, let me reintroduce myself. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey. Everyone calls me Wendy Y. And, I've been in this coaching business in the industry for more than 20 years. In June, I'll celebrate 21 years. And I'm really super excited about celebrating that many years. I can't believe I've been here this long, but it feels like home. And every time I have those doubts as an entrepreneur, you go through places and spaces and times when you have doubt. Every single time I realize I don't have anywhere else I want to go, right? This is home for me. I'm really an amazing and masterful coach, and I love being able to serve my clients in the way that I do. Quick announcement, I'm really excited about it. I just accepted a role as a fractional chief operating officer for a 7 figure coaching and consulting business. Really excited about it because I get to do what I do every single day with my individual coaching clients in groups and masterminds and all of that. I get to do it for this 7 figure business, helping get their infrastructure in place, their systems going. And it just really makes me happy to be able to serve them in this way. Look up fractional COO, but basically it means I'm virtual. It means that I am part time. It means that I'm not on staff, but I'm really taking on the role of a COO to really support them in building out their infrastructure and they're growing their profits. So I love being able to do that. Again, it's a new position. It's a new service that I'm adding to my business. So I'm really excited about that. So let's kind of get into talking about currencies. When I think of currencies, the thing that I want folks to most understand is when you think of currency, currency is something that's of great value to you, right? When you have currency and that high value, then you want to attend to it in a way that helps it to really support you in growing your business. That's kind of how I came up with these currency. And there's some that I've kind of lumped together because they're related, they're connected, and I'll explain why as I go through it. When I talk about currency, I want you to know that building your coaching business really does require intention. That means you're coming at each one of these from a place that you have the power, the interest, the expectation, the expertise to be able to focus on these particular currencies. It also means that you are committed to growing these currencies because of what they're going to do for your business ultimately. That's the beauty of having currencies that you focus on in your coaching business. So I'm going to talk about 5 types. So if you're here and you have pen and paper, go ahead and list 5 numbers because I'm going to give you 5 types, okay, for you to check out. 5 types of currency, and then I'm going to tell you how to leverage them to create a thriving coaching business. I really believe that it's good for you to know the currencies, but you also want to know what you can do with them to really make them work for you. I'm going to start with one I teased about on my reels across Instagram and Facebook. And what I said was relationships are the first currency. Relationships are everything. When you think of what a realtor thinks of when it comes to a house or a building, location is what a builder or a realtor thinks of. Location. If you're in the coaching industry, or what I call the transformation space, maybe you're a consultant, maybe you're a speaker, a trainer. If you're in this space, it means that you need to focus on relationships. They are everything. They can make or break your business. You want to cultivate, you want to nurture them. When you are focused on nurturing relationships, you're building trust, you're connecting, you're nurturing, and you're converting. Every single relation, every single conversation you're in is part of a relationship that you're building. So relationships are everything. And the way you leverage them is to take care of your relationships. Doesn't matter who it's with. I've had in more than 20 years, I've had clients that I've serviced in a particular area. Early on, I taught creative writing, and that turned into a referral to speak at UPS. So you've got to think about the relationships you have and how to care for the people that you support. Even if they're not exactly your ideal clients initially, you never know who they know. You never know who they can introduce you to. And I'm suggesting that when you care and connect and you nurture, you're building trust, that it is genuine. It is not, I'm going to treat this person well because of what they can do for me. It really is recognizing that's a part of how you do business. I haven't always thought of it that way, but I got to tell you, when you do, it makes a world of difference in how business comes to you. Sometimes it's serendipitous, sometimes it's divine timing. Whatever happens, you've got to understand and recognize relationships are at the heart of that. So you have to leverage them. The last thing I'll say about relationships being currency and them being everything, especially if you're in the transformation space, it's important for people to know that you care. One of the questions I ask when I meet with people one-on-one, whether they're selling me or they're interested in learning more about me, I always ask the question, how can I support you? How can I support you? Sometimes people don't know, they don't think of it, but I got to tell you, when they do answer the question, what happens for them is they totally understand that I didn't just say it just to say it. I really want to support them. And it gets them really thinking about how I can do that. Sometimes it's via an introduction. Sometimes it's, they want to be a business bestie or a thought partner. You get to decide how you want to shape the relationship, but to extend the offer of support really is a nice, genuine way of saying, I care about what happens to you. So maybe there's something I can do that's going to help you. Relationships are everything. If you're joining me live, be sure to say hello and let me know that you're here. If you're catching me on the replay, be sure to type hashtag replay so that I know you were here and I can greet you. If you have questions along the way, you're more than welcome to post them. I'm broadcasting on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and I'm going back to all of those platforms just to be sure that I have responded to any questions or comments that you've made. So the second type of currency I want to talk about really does partner with relationships, and that's consistency. Consistency breeds trust, and consistency doesn't mean 100 times a day. I saw an internet marketer posted on his Instagram, and he said you should be posting something on Instagram 5 times a day. And I thought, I don't have time for that. Even if I schedule it, even if my team schedules it, that's not consistency for me, because 5 times a day doesn't work for me. And my clients who are coaches aren't really going to be reading my stuff that I post 5 times a day. They want some high value, super value rich content a few times a week. And that's how I post. right? There's also something you can do around consistency as it relates to scheduling, right? Consistency breeds trust. That's why I do this show 5 days a week, 4 days a week, sometimes five. I'm going to get to five consistently. But I do this show at the same time every single day, Monday through Friday. 6 p.m. Eastern is when I do it. I had another call right before this. I had to jump off so that I could be here. Consistency breeds trust. It's also trust when you talk about client attraction. Your clients get to see you and know when you're going to show up. It's about engagement. They know the caliber of the connection you're making when you are consistent. And retention really does all three of those: client and attraction, client engagement, client retention, and I miss client enrollment. There are three. There are four: client attraction, client engagement, client enrollment, and client retention really does create consistent cash for you. And how I know that is, I mentioned the whole fractional COO role in the suite of services that I'm going to be offering within my business to seven-figure uh, coaching and training businesses, right? Business owners. Well, the beauty of that is that came from someone I met in 2006. She did a training for a group that I was part of. I went from being a learner for her to actually getting my NLP certification through her. And we just stayed in touch over the years. That's the beauty of relationships. That's also the beauty of consistency. When we started talking about how I could support her, it was clear that we were both on the same page in terms of what she needed and what I could do. So consistency breeds trust, and some of that is over time. So think about how you can be consistent over time in whatever area works for you, and create the consistency. Focus on being consistent. And let me say this one last thing about social media. Social media is great for getting you seen, known, and heard in the marketplace, but you don't have to be in a frenzy posting on all platforms. Choose the platforms where you're most likely to connect and be attractive to your most ideal clients. I was talking to someone, this was, months ago, last year on Clubhouse. And, we were talking about these platforms, these social media platforms. And she was like, oh, well, I don't really want to do any individual coaching. I really want to do training. And I said, okay, so why are you posting so heavily on Instagram? You need to be posting on LinkedIn. The companies, the corporations, the businesses that are looking for training resources, training partners for their businesses are on LinkedIn. And, immediately I saw her start to post more on LinkedIn. Instagram is more fun. You can post pictures more than you have to think about words. If you're going to use a platform, no matter what it is, just make sure that it is in alignment with your most ideal client and where your clients are going to meet and greet you, get to know, like, trust you, experience you, be attracted to you, engage with you, so that they will enroll in what you offer and they will become a client that retains you as their coach or coaching business. Okay, so one was relationships. The second type of currency was consistency. The third type of consistence or currency is creativity. Creativity is a currency. One of the things I love about, 20 plus years in my business is I get to create it the way I want to look at it, right? I get to create what works for me and what works for my clients. Stop looking at what other people are doing and decide what works for you to create freedom, to create consistency, to create the relationships that you want with clients to be and, existing clients, and create something that really supports them and you. You don't need your business to look like somebody else's. And let me give you a quick example. Because I've been coaching so long and because I've been doing this for so long, I really tend to know what strategy it takes, and I know how long it takes for that to be implemented. Coaching can sometimes take time to cook, okay? Over time, your client starts to make the incremental shifts in what they're doing and what they're trying to implement. And sometimes that takes time. But what I found was, because I know how long it takes a client, I can literally reshape my coaching packages, my one-on-one support, to give the client what they need in a short window, if that's what's called for, or stretch it out over a long period of time. But I get to design that. When I designed the 5 session and 12 session packages for my one-on-one coaching clients, yeah, I do VIP days and half day VIP days. But when I designed that, for me, it was about freedom. It was about giving clients like a concentrated dose of coaching with implementation support and guidance. And the 5 session package, the 12 session packages, those are not what most people are doing in the coaching industry. My creativity and my innovation is what rose for me to create those types of packages. So when I tell you about creativity, it really is about creating a structure that affords you the greatest flexibility. You also want to create flexibility for your clients. You want to be in a situation, in a position where you're not following some cookie cutter approach just because somebody told you it was supposed to be that way. You need to do what works for you. I had a client who came through, I want to say at the end of 2021, one of my programs called Predictable Coaching Income. And she was on the verge of quitting. She was on the verge of quitting coaching. She had had a coach that told her her coaching business needed to look a certain way. There were certain specific things that she needed to do in her business. And so she was not married to those things, and it was upsetting and unsettling to her. So once we went through the Predictable Coaching Income Masterclass program, what she discovered was she got to design her business in a way that suited her, her lifestyle, her sense of freedom, and what she really wanted to accomplish in her coaching business. And that was in, I want to say we did it in September. And she was able to report back with me and tell me that she was able to fill her coaching business through the end of 2021 based on what we did and how we worked together. And it gave her a sense of freedom and confidence about how she structured her business. It's all about creativity. It's currency that can really create flexibility and freedom. And it can really be something that serves your clients well at the same time. Okay. So creativity is a currency that you want to nurture and set an intention about. I just posted the link to my masterclass series that's coming up. Elevatewithwendy.com is where you go to sign up for that. It is a complimentary masterclass, and it's 3 parts. We're going to talk about elevation. We're going to talk about some tools. We're also going to talk about messaging and some things that will help you in messaging your marketing more effectively. So go to elevatewithwendy.com and sign up for the masterclass series. The next one I want to talk to you about is I'm going to give you what I have as number 5 right now. When you are thinking of being creative, you also need to understand that these 3 things go together: repurpose, reinvention, and reimagining. Okay, those are 3 things that go really, really well together: repurposing, reinvention, and reimagining. That's going to drive innovation in your coaching business. And if you're looking at your coaching business and you're saying, hey, what can I do differently? It's an opportunity for you to repurpose, for you to reinvent, or for you to reimagine something you've already done. I like to tell people when I talk about repurposing is, you got to think of different delivery vehicles for the same content. You've got to think of different structures to put it in. Take something you have in audio and do a video. Take something you have in video and do what do you call it? An infographic. Take something that's an infographic and create an ebook. Take something that's an ebook and create a series of ebooks. You get to innovate, and that's by repurposing everything you have, by reinventing yourself if that's what you need to do, and reimagining the world that you're operating in as it relates to coaching and serving up coaching to your clients. I see people are popping on. Hey, glad you're here. As a reminder, be sure that you say hello to me and let me know that you are here. You also can leave me questions and comments. Just be sure you use hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. If you missed the first 4 currencies, let me just tell you, the first is relationships. Relationships are everything. The second is consistency, because consistency breeds trust. The third is creativity, because it creates structure that affords you the greatest flexibility. The fourth one I talked about was repurposing, reinventing, and reimagining. It's what drives innovation in your coaching business. And the last thing I'm going to say, most people won't think of, but in more than 20 years, I haven't been, my uptime has not been 100%. I have a couple of chronic illnesses that I'm dealing with, that I had to learn how to deal with them early on. And, I actually got diagnosed with something in the midst of my 20 plus years, and had to totally rethink how I ate and how I lived and all of that kind of stuff. So this last currency, I've learned, and I want to encourage you to focus on, set an intention and focus on it, is resilience. Resilience is currency. That means you got to focus on self care. You got to make sure you are practicing wellness strategies that help you to stay whole. It also means that you have a bulletproof mindset. My personal mantra is mindset is everything. And I hashtag that on almost everything. When I talk about mindset is everything, I'm saying make sure that you're approaching everything with a clear head and with a positive outcome and expectation of the situation, whatever it is. Fuel your mindset. Robin Sharma, I talk about him all the time. He's a leadership guru. He's one of my digital mentors. He says, if you want to increase your fees, invest in personal development. It's another way of saying mindset is everything. You know, Simon T. Bailey, who is a cousin, I call him a cousin, even though we're not related because we have the same last name. Simon T. Bailey actually says, the world is better because you're in it. It's an affirmation. And when you affirm that every single day, it makes a difference in how you show up to greet the day, to greet people, to be part of the world. Mindset is everything. Okay. When you understand that, then you're going to fuel your mindset with positivity, with, constructive feedback. You're going to fuel your world with people who are on your success team. I'm going to tell you who needs to be on your success team at the masterclass series, but people who are on your success team, who are encouraging, who are constructive in the feedback that they give you. They're really helping you and highlighting the areas that you may not see for yourself. I shared this in another episode, but I like going back and listening to myself in coaching sessions. I like going back and watching myself on video because it helps me to get better. It reminds me of who I am. It helps me to grow and continue to expand what I do all the time, right? It's a way of encouraging myself. Whatever you need to do, whatever you need to do, make it work for you. Make it work for you. It might be affirmations, it might be gratitude statements, it might be intention statements. And intention statements are sort of how you're going to show up, right? It might be, reading, being a voracious reader every day, week, month. Set a goal for how you're going to fuel your mindset so that resilience is easier. And the reason I know this is because every time I've had a health challenge that's knocked me out of the game for a minute, when I came back, it was because I was like, okay, let me get my mindset in order. Let me fuel my mindset. Let me write some affirmations. Let me look at my affirmations. Let me remind myself of who I am. Let me do the things that encourage me and inspire me and champion me. Let me surround myself with people who are going to give me the kind of encouragement and support that I need. They're going to give me constructive feedback. I remember years ago, and I was really struggling, emotionally, just to be real. I was struggling emotionally. And one of my doctors actually recommended that I go and visit someone. And I said, well, what if I go and visit them and I'm like I am now? And she was like, well, what if you don't go and visit them? You're going to stay exactly where you are. So you need people in your world who can actually say to you, hey, Sharita, people in your world who can actually say to you, you need to get up and do something. You deserve to be awesome because you already are. You deserve to be around people who love on you. One of my friends, and he's a colleague, and I gave him credit to this the other day, but I'll say it again. He says, go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Then you will be appreciated and compensated. Dr. Fred Jones, he's a book publisher. Okay. He's a book coach. Go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Then you will be appreciated and compensated. I love that. Yeah, I love it too, Sharita. It just says volumes to me. The other thing I want to say is, sometimes I talk to coaches who get, um, you know, inundated with perfection. So they procrastinate, they're not moving things forward in their businesses. And I heard my client say it recently, but I want to share it with you. It's an extended version of something I heard a long time ago. Former COO for Meta, which is what Facebook is now, Sheryl Sandberg says, done is better than perfect. She said it a number of years ago, and people have continued to build on it. But she says, done is better than perfect. And my client told me today, because perfect is never done. Yeah, done is better than perfect because perfect is never done. I love that addition, that extension of it, because it helps me to give my clients a way to shift from perfection to productivity. And one of the things I say, it's a Wendy Y formula: productivity plus profitability equals sustainability. The more productive you are consistently, the more profitable you will become. The more profitable you are partnering with your productivity, the longer you're going to be in business. The sustainability happens, the scale that you're looking for, the growth that you want in your business, and your bottom line profits will soar. Yeah, done is better than perfect because perfect is never done. I was like, wow, I love that. That's great. So, as a reminder, I want to invite you to join me for my 3-part masterclass series. It's for the coaching elevation blueprint. I think is what I called it. It's about elevation. Elevation is my word for 2023. And, I want to give you some of my value and wisdom around what's really going to help you to grow and scale your coaching business. Okay, so elevatewithwendy.com is where you go. If you're just joining me, be sure to catch the earlier parts of the currencies that I shared. Let me just finish this last one. The last one is resilience. When you focus on your bounce back, your comeback, then resilience happens easier. Resilience happens more naturally. You can bounce back from everything. You can bounce back from everything. And that's the beauty of resilience as a currency. So thanks so much for being here. Tomorrow, I'll be here to talk about, I'll always like to go and give you a little bit of a preview of what I'm going to be helping you with and supporting you on tomorrow. Wow, I didn't realize I had gone so far down in my photos. I'm going the wrong way. Okay, so yesterday, I talked about the keys to exponential growth in your coaching business. Today was 5 currencies to focus on to scale your 6-figure coaching business. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about enhancing your impact and achieving your biggest, scariest goals. I want you to hold on to the done is better than perfect because perfect is never done. I'm going to dig into that a little bit more tomorrow. And then on Thursday, I'm going to talk about what you need to drive creativity, innovation, and transformation in your coaching business. So thanks everybody for being here. As a reminder, post your questions, your comments. I'll definitely go back and read them, respond to them as well. And I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern for another live stream. Go back and check out the other episodes. I've been doing this in series for the last, I think this is week 4. So definitely check out what's there. And, if I can support you, let me know. Take care, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.